So
Uh,
great to be
Hi,
here.
ladies, Power Lunch. We are here today with Mary, and she is a fashion stylist with a company called Cabby. But she's so much more than that. She is a fashion therapist. And I just love the way that you say that because for some of us, walking into the big department store can be a little bit intimidating. And sometimes you look at the fashion magazines and you see all these women in all this beautiful clothing, but you're not sure, is this for me? Is this for my body type? And we've also all, and Mary, you can, I'm sure, shed some light on this because you work with clients all the time, but we all have little negative stories playing in our heads about our body types and the things that we can and cannot wear and things like that. And so, having somebody who is your go to person for developing confidence with the fashions that you put on, I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, welcome, Mary. I know you, I love you. We've had extensive conversation, but maybe some of our guests who are tuning in do not know you as well as I do. So, would you tell us who are you and what do you do? Who on earth are you,
Who
Mary?
am I? I keep trying to find that out every single day, Davia.
That's
I
so
am
funny.
a fashion therapist, as you've mentioned earlier, and I've been a cappy stylist for the past 10 years. I have worked with over 1,000 women, helping them identify their body type and dress their best assets, and in turn, building their confidence while they figure out which items, which wardrobe pieces would work best for them. My background is in teaching. I taught first grade through eighth grade for 8 years, and I have my MSW. I did a little bit of family therapy, and now I like to say that I do clothing therapy because when I'm working with women and they're standing there in their bra and underwear, they tend, as you had mentioned earlier, to talk very negatively about themselves. And they always can identify something that's wrong with their body, but they never really come forward first with something that they love about their body. So I'm trying to sort of redefine that and help women really appreciate the body that they happen to be in now, regardless if it's 10 pounds heavier than before COVID, or whether or not they don't like the fact that, they wish they had bigger boobs or, smaller behind, whatever it is, just embrace your body as it is, because that's how God made us.
That's wonderful. I could tell you a little story, and this is going to be a tremendous overshare, but it's fine. I do that all the time.
It's okay, it's
I,
fine.
after I had my first baby, I ended up at about a size 16. Now, for those of you who know this whole story, you know exactly why that happened. But there I was at a size 16, and there was nothing I was doing that was taking the extra pounds off, and I was doing all the things. And one of the things that happened for me is one day I stepped out of the shower, and the mirror's right there. And I looked at the mirror and I thought to myself, Self, you did a great thing. You made a whole entire person.
Mm-hmm.
Body, I congratulate you. And I swear to you, Mary, the moment that I was able to step into that acceptance of all size 16 inches of me, every single piece of me that made me up, that was the day that I started on my path to my weight loss. And no, I'm not a size 6 like I was or size 4 like I was before, but the size that I am now, I am very comfortable with. I'm like somewhere between an 8 and a 10, and that's
Mm-hmm.
that's fine for me.
That is a beautiful story. And regardless of what size you are, you deserve to feel beautiful. And you deserve to feel that joy every time you get dressed in the morning. And I
Absolutely,
try
absolutely.
my best to give that gift to women as they're working with me. And not just with the Cappy brand, certainly, but with whatever brand that you happen to shop with that you feel the most comfortable being in. It could be just redefining how you wear your clothes in your own closet and how to style them differently to make it look differently on your body.
One of the things that I like about what you do, and especially for a lot of our Ladies Power Lunch members who do partner with a brand to deliver services that way, it's not about the brand that you're working with, really, because there may be 5, 10, 15 cabbie stylists in your zip code. You know, you could work with just about anybody. But what is important, I think, and what's different about you is you're actually working with us to help us to improve our confidence surrounding the clothing that we're putting on, the way we dress ourselves. And let's face it, the face that you present to the public matters, right? Because
It does.
perception is important.
And as much as we don't want to admit it, we judge people as soon as you see them. And the first form of communication is literally the outfit that you put on in the morning. And every day you have to make that choice. You know, what am I going to wear today? Now,
Unless you're me and you wear a uniform
unless
to
you
work.
unless you wear a scrub, then it's super easy. But then your clothing also communicates what your job
Does.
is.
It
You know,
does. It
so
does.
we know that you work in the medical field. You know, a policeman works in the policeman field. So it's just our clothing communicate to everyone who we are, and we really have to be cognizant of that and make purposeful choices when we walk into our closet, and we're going out into the world for a reason to to communicate. And Cabby is a great brand, and I use this as my tool to educate women because I know it inside and out. I don't know other brands as well. So that's why I fall back onto this brand, because I can identify different outfits that work for a triangle shape, for a rectangle shape, for any shape that you happen to be in, and help you figure out what outfit would work best.
So tell me, Mary, what's one of the main reasons that you would say somebody would want to come and work with you? What would be the driving force behind that?
If they walked into their closet every day, were surrounded by a bunch of clothing, and still had nothing to wear, and they don't know how to put it together, or they feel frustrated, and getting dressed in the morning does not bring them joy, and it should bring you joy. You should feel beautiful when you leave the house every day and not feel discouraged in the clothes that you put on your body.
So I know you see a lot of different clients and you probably have a ton of stories. Any stories that you can share with us with obviously permission about any just success stories that you've had with women that have worked with you?
Yes. Well, first I'm going to back up a little bit. The last presentation that I did, I put out a question to the women in the group, and I asked them for a second to close their eyes and imagine a time in their life when they felt the most beautiful. Where were they, and what were they wearing? So you can think about that for a minute while I share some responses that women gave me. One, she was 11 or 12 years old, and she was standing on a rock, and she had spread her arms wide, and she was wearing this amazing t-shirt that was like a butterfly. When she spread her arms, all the wings sort of like spread out, and she just felt like she could conquer the world. And to her, that's when she felt the most beautiful. Another woman was standing on the top of the Eiffel Tower, and her husband was there for work. And they had dressed up for the special evening, and she was wearing the most beautiful black dress, and everything was perfect. Her hair was perfect, her dress was perfect, the scenery was perfect, and she was with the man that she loved. So to her, that was the most special time. And then another, she was with her mother-in-law, and clothing really wasn't her thing. She didn't like getting dressed up. I mean, it was exhausting to her. But for her mother-in-law, it was very important to always present yourself in a way that you showed your best assets. And so this particular day she chose, and she could describe exactly what the outfit was. And this woman may have been in her 70s, and it was, she could remember in detail the pleating on her skirt, the black line that went around her hips. And her mother-in-law that day gave her a compliment and told her how beautiful she looked. And so that feeling she has carried forward with her throughout all these years. And it was so shocking to me because I honestly thought that women were going to be referring back to their wedding day or to another day where they were really the center of attention with everyone else around them. And not any of the stories that were shared with me had anything to do with their wedding day.
That's interesting. That's really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to talk about do's and don'ts for getting dressed up, what would your advice be?
Well, it depends upon what you're getting dressed up for. I can certainly talk to you a little bit about body types, and that might help you put it in perspective if
Sure.
that's okay with you.
Yes.
On behind me, I've actually racked a couple of different outfits, all pertaining to your body type. Now, if you are a triangle body type, what that means is pretty much you have a narrow shoulders. You carry your weight in your tummy area and maybe in your hips. And so that basically is what my body shape is. And so to sort of dress your best assets, you want to make sure that you have a little bit of a shoulder pad so that you balance out your hip area. And I put a top underneath here, which is sort of form fitting. So it's going to automatically give me more of a curve shape. And then the skirt that I chose sort of floats around my hip area and it hits me right around my ankles. And I just love this leather jacket. This is just came out this past season and it is just gorgeous. So
Yeah,
that,
that's very cool
yes,
looking.
very cool. Yes, it's kind of like a throwback to like Steve McQueen, I think, back in the day. So the next body shape is the rectangle. Now, a rectangular woman really has no waist. She really no defined shape at all. And her shoulders are pretty much the same measurements as her hips. And so with this woman, you want to try to give her an hourglass shape. And you do that by making sure that the tops give her like a little cinch in the waist. There's usually a seam around the jacket. And she wears, some nice fitted pants that showcase her skinny legs. So you want to always kind of go back to that hourglass shape. Funny story about the hourglass shape before I get into dressing that one. Back in the caveman days, okay, you were most sought after if you were an hourglass because an hourglass woman would be able to bear, in theory, more children, and your children would be healthier. And so it's so funny that we sort of like continue that frame of thought, and we're always trying to get back to that curvaceous form in how we're dressing. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I read that somewhere, someplace. I thought it was like so fascinating.
So basically, I'm a cave woman, is what you're saying. It's fine, Mary. I'll
No,
accept it. It's okay.
not a cave woman, but you are the most revered of the women because you, yes, absolutely, Davia. Yeah, so funny. So this is the hourglass, and with the hourglass, oh my God, you actually are very blessed because you have that nice defined waist. You look amazing in wrapped dresses, wrapped shirts, and you can wear form-fitting pants that sort of like taper at the ankle depending upon your proportions. But I have another friend, she's petite and she's an hourglass, and this is the exact outfit that she bought and she rocked it. I mean, she just looked amazing in this entire outfit.
So I think maybe I need to get that outfit because before you mentioned all of this, and I know nothing about style and fashion and anything like that, but I used to, and my husband would say to me, "Oh, you're not gonna like that shirt. It doesn't wrap around." Or you're not gonna like that dress. I remember like Diane von Furstenberg, she used to have these dresses and they'd have that little wrap around, and I bought one and it was just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I totally get that. Curvy woman, you need that shirt.
You absolutely. Everybody needs to come and buy this shirt. This is the ringleader shirt, and I'll send you the link. So in case you do want to get it, you feel free to. And then the last shape I just want to highlight for today is the inverted triangle. Now, the inverted triangle, they tend to have broader shoulders. So what you don't want to do is buy jackets that have shoulder pads in them because it's just going to make you look wider. You want to make sure you wear like almost like soft suiting, like a soft sweater, and there's no bulk through here. And then typically your legs are the skinniest parts of your body. So you want to accentuate your legs. And that's a great example of what you could put on an inverted triangle. And when I was waking up this morning, sort of like halfway awake and half asleep, I was thinking of another shape, and that would be the star. Because if we all stood, put our hands out and our arms and our legs out, would be this magnificent star. And if you just focused on the essence of who you are as a person, led with confidence and led with a smile, your clothing is going to be second to what you're showing the world. And I truly believe that is the case because your smiling and your communication definitely reflects upon what clothes you are wearing.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I believe that all of us have that star body type, every single
Mhm.
one of us. I identify with that statement so, so deeply. I believe that when somebody has that inner glow, that
Yes.
no matter what they're wearing, no matter what situation they're in, even when they're in maybe a situation that might not look great, that inner glow cannot help but shine through.
Mhm.
And it's attractive, it's magnetic,
It
it
is.
pulls people in. So I
Mhm.
absolutely adore that you said that. Um,
Absolutely.
how have you been doing, your fittings and your closet organization activities now that we are in quarantine, now that we're having a little less person to person contact?
Yes. So Cabby's very fortunate that they had already been working on a proprietary presentation using videos, women walking the runway. It's called Front Row. And so when I do my presentations, I do it on a platform just like this on Zoom. And you invite your friends to Zoom, they bring their own beverage, I entertain them for an hour, and I literally showcase the entire collection. I don't know if you can see that entire rack of clothes over there. That's the entire fall collection. On you will be able to sit back, watch the models walk the runway. I'll be your master of ceremony in between the videos, and I will bring out the clothes and talk about the fit and the benefits to different body types in between. So that's what I've been doing. It is a little challenging because you clearly cannot try the clothes on in my home, but I do boutique in a bag. And so if there are clothes that you're interested in, I put them in this nice dressing bag. I drop them off at your doorstep. You try them on, and at your convenience, I will pick them up and take them back here. And you can order or not order depending upon if you see anything that you enjoy. Beats going to the mall, that is for sure. Yes.
Yes. You know what I like about this? So I was never more on, nobody asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Because,
Okay.
I do this all the time. When I was in college, I worked in a store called, in the mall, like everybody does when they're in college, um, New York and Company.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I worked in that store. Great store. It was nice for years. But when you work in the mall, you
Mm-hmm.
never want to be in the mall.
Never. No.
And so for me, going somewhere to do shopping is
Mm-hmm.
not, you know how they say girls love to go shopping? I am not that girl. But the
Mm-hmm.
idea of having this personalized service where I could choose my fashions and have them delivered to me and I try them on, and the ones that I like I order, and the ones that I don't like they go back to you. I
Mm-hmm.
am really liking that idea. And I also like personalized things. Like I was talking to one of our members, two of our members actually. I was talking to Aina and Annie, and we were saying, you know what, Javia's a VIP kind of girl. I like that sort of
That's
concierge service. So, Mary, this is right up my street.
okay. Well, we'll have to set up an appointment and you can let me know which items you'd like to see in real time. Happy to drop
Yes.
them off to you. Um,
Awesome.
yes,
I
awesome.
love that. Is there anything that you have in your fall line that you think we absolutely need to see?
Well, there's everything in my fall line that
I
you absolutely
know.
need to see.
There
Unless
was a
you
dress that you posted on the
the solo stress.
yes, I adore that dress. It looks so so gorgeous. When I saw it, I just thought you posted something about apple picking and I'm like, yeah, I need that dress to go apple picking. And I like that it has that cinch in the waist
Yes. So for your
because
hourglass figure, this is going to look be amazing. So you can cinch it right at your waist. It
yes.
it is so soft. It feels like a soft felt. It has thumb holes, and you can wear it with like tall boots, which are all the rage this fall, like boots over the knees. You pop a long necklace underneath this. I mean, over this, and it's to die for. I mean, you can dress it up and dress it down. You can put sneakers with this as well. It doesn't have to be like a dressy dress. So
I
that is
love, love, love
awesome.
that. And
Awesome.
one of the things, so I'm not going to take over your fashion styling moment, but as a curvy person, I can tell you that people will see me and they will think that I'm fat because I have large bust and my hips are wide, but it's just how I'm built. So even when I was a size 4, I always need to wear something that cinches in at the waist to show that I do have that
The hourglass.
hourglass caveman type figure.
Yeah. And you can't change your bone structure. It doesn't make a difference like how much weight you lose. You're still going to be the same shape. You just to be a larger version of that shape, but you will still be that shape always. And
I
when
love
women
that.
walk into a retail department store, they need to understand that those clothes are made on a fit model with perfect proportions. So it is very rare that you can walk into a box store, pick something off the rack, and have it fit your body perfectly without having it tailored. In all the magazines, all these women that you see I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. That outfit looks amazing on them. It's because it was sewn to their bodies. It was sewn to their measurements. So I think need to remember that and not be so hard on themselves if something is not fitting them correctly. It's not their body's fault. It's the garment's fault. It's whoever designed the garment. They didn't do it properly for their body measurements.
Yep, I totally identify with that. And I don't know how many women here have had to, I mean, have the department store tailor their pants
Mm-hmm.
because for me, it was the waist. If the hips would fit,
You had that gap,
the
right?
waist would never fit. And so thank goodness some of the stores would have some tailoring, but the dry cleaners that was the job that I would have dry cleaners do all the time, tailoring my pants because it just wouldn't fit. So I totally, it's so empowering to know that there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with having this shape that you have.
No.
Your shape is your shape, and there are different styles that you can choose to accentuate the beautiful, beautiful shape that is you. I love that. Love that. Love that. So, before we hop into getting figuring out who is our winner for our prize today, can you tell us what your prize is?
Yes, my prize is a 30-minute styling session with me. And so we're going to explore your style story, like where did you get your style from? And we're going to identify your body type. And then I'm going to show you some different ways to dress your body type. So that's my giveaway today.
And when people do have a style session with you, what are some of the surprising things that they find about themselves? Like, what are some of the revelations that they have as a result of having these style sessions with you?
That the story that they have told to themselves sometimes isn't always true. And the story that other women have told them sometimes isn't true.
Absolutely, absolutely, 100%. Because I'm gonna say this, and guys, don't beat me up for it, but a lot of us have that tape playing in our head that's our mother, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I love my mom, she's amazing. And also some of the things that she told me, they might not have been 100% accurate.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, it's amazing how textile and clothing has sort of shaped our lives as we've grown from a little girl to an adult. So I started off in a Catholic school, had no sense of style, wore a uniform all of my life. My mom worked in a textile mill, so I had fabric literally in my house my entire life. My grandmother sewed all my clothes. And until I became an adult, I did not realize how that experience sort of carried through to where I am as a fashion stylist today. I never ever pieced that together until I sort of reviewed the impact that women in my life had on my style.
So what made you go from being a therapist to being a fashion therapist? What was that shift for you?
I am an entrepreneur at heart and I love gathering women together. I've always been the person that had the longer burger basket parties and the Mary Kay parties and whatever party I could have, I was having them at my house. When I had my three children, I knew that I was going to be the person that was mainly staying home with them because my husband is a physician, and so his hours are just crazy. And I was trying to find something, and I was going to buy a franchise. It was going to open up my own storefront, but it was too cost prohibitive and it was too much time. I wanted something that was very flexible that could fit into my life and not have to have my life fit into a job. And so I found Cabby, or I should say that Cabby found me. I had no background in fashion whatsoever. And they gave me all the tools that I needed in order to help other women. And I've just thoroughly enjoyed the relationships that I've made through these 10 years. And when you're working with a woman and she has that aha moment of finding that perfect outfit and she comes out into the room and all of the girls in the room are like, oh my God, that looks so amazing on you. And you just see the joy radiating from her face. That's why I do this. It's not for the sale of the blouse or the pants. It's really that
Even
interchange.
though the blouse and the pants are great.
Even though the pants, yeah, absolutely. But it's that joy, and they're going to take that with them wherever they go. So whenever they put that outfit on, they're going to step out into the world with confidence and just be their awesome selves. So that's really why I do this.
Mary, I am just elated that you chose to join us today because the idea of, I'm always talking about going within and really cleaning up the little pieces of us that are preventing us from shining. And to have the person who is helping you with your fashion also be a therapist, somebody who knows about all these things. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that combination, it cannot be beat. There's nothing else that is better than that. This is amazing. This is awesome. We have a couple of comments for you over on the Facebook group. Audra says, "Hi ladies." Marianne Cruz, who I know you know her well, she says, "Hello, hello, smiley face."
Marianne.
Audra says, "Amen. Own and love every part of you." And Christy says, "Hi, ladies. I love Cabby." Christy also says, "Curvy equals beautiful caveman, cave woman." And Marianne's agreeing with that. And also, Christy loves that black jacket. So you should probably talk to Christy about the black jacket because here's the thing, I love the black jacket. It's not for me because it cuts me off at the wrong spot.
Right. We can't have that jacket. Mm-mm.
You know what I'm talking
I
about
do.
with
Yes.
the bubble butt. It just it cuts
It's
me
like,
the wrong
it's like
place.
an arrow pointing to your behind.
Yes, yes. And while we adore my
Yeah, we do.
behind,
We do. Yes.
it does not need any further advertisements. So there you go.
You're so
Lorraine,
funny.
thanks for joining us here on the Zoom call. It's so nice to see
Welcome.
you. Good to
Hi,
see
Lori.
you.
Hi, Mary.
Did
You're
you
Hello.
have
welcome.
any questions for Mary at all?
No, I love Cabby.
You
Oh,
do. Okay, so you already have pieces. Well, I know for
I do.
sure that I need to figure out the my placing my order for the fall dress, the solstice dress, and also for that wraparound top. My husband will admit that most of my tops are wraparound. And I had no idea, Mary. I had no
and that's
idea.
the reason why you're doing it right. You are. You know your body. That's very exciting.
So funny. Like I never paid really specific attention, but these are the things that I have been doing. So you just validated me. I feel pretty good. So let's go ahead. Are you ready to pick our winner for today?
I am, and then I have a little trick to show you. Do we have time to do the trick? You
Oh,
want me to do the
sure.
trick
What do you want
first,
to do
or
first? The trick or the drawing?
we'll do the drawing first because you already announced it. So
Okay.
you
All
go right
right.
ahead.
So drum roll. And today our Free Gift Friday winner is Marianne Cruz. There are no
Yay!
accidents, none whatsoever, none whatsoever.
Oh,
Awesome.
Marianne, wait until we have our session. It's going to be so much fun.
So much fun. Awesome, awesome. Maybe we should make it into a party and
Ooh,
have invite some of the other ladies' lunchwomen who might want to come to join us because I
I,
could see myself on that.
I would
Okay, I
love.
just invited myself to
Okay.
your fitting, Marianne. This is the kind of person that you have as your friend.
You are very welcome to come. Everybody's a winner. Come on
Everybody's
over.
a winner.
Everybody's a winner.
Everybody's a winner. Awesome. So, Mary, tell us the last little bit that you wanted to
Okay,
share.
two things. One, I'm going to take off my jacket, and I purposely wore an oversized shirt so that I could show you how to style this in a way where you would not need to have a belt. Can you see the bottom of my shirt?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have a shirt that does not work with your proportions, like I have a really short torso, you can take the shirt and you group the material in one of your hands and you pull it through the belt loop and then you tuck that underneath and it changes the entire look of your outfit.
I am stunned.
Okay. So super easy. So all those long t-shirts you have in your closet that kind of just they'll do nothing for your shape, tuck it through your belt loop if you don't want to wear a belt. And that way you don't have that big bump of the belt and you don't have to tuck anything in. So that's one trick. The second trick, and I know all of you have these in your closet, you have scarves that you do not use. They're hanging in there collecting dust. So the big scarves that you have, like probably about this size, you can make these into like a bathing suit cover up or a vest to put over like your turtlenecks. So you take the two ends and you fold them together like a book. Okay, so we have a book. Then you take these two ends and you tie these together and you say the magic words, voila. And then when you shake it open, you have two armholes. Okay, and so then you can put this around and you have another, like a bathing suit cover up or another way to dress up your shirts, your t-shirts.
Oh, that is so cool.
Isn't that fun?
That is amazing.
So I had to share those two little tricks with you because those are always a showstopper when I'm putting on my events. And last but not least, I always have to go to makeup because that's how we survive, ladies. So this is my favorite tool that I have in my makeup box. This is an eye brightener by Trish, and you just put it in the corners and it makes you look wide awake because as I'm getting older, I'm getting those circles around my eyes in the morning, and no matter what I do, I still look like I'm tired. So I have to brighten my eyes with a little bit of help from my magic stick. So
I love all those tips. Those are excellent. Mary, I feel like we had such a great conversation today. This was so much fun. I definitely have to. I see somebody says over on Facebook that they're having a show with you coming up.
yes, Christy.
Oh,
So
it's Christy. Okay.
Christy. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if anybody wants to attend Christy's show, I would say reach out to either Mary or Christy on our Facebook group and you can be a part of that.
Perfect.
Awesome. Any
Excellent.
last words, anything you want to plug before we go?
dress, yes, dress your body in the shape and the size that it is in now. Please embrace your body today. Get a tailor in your Rolodex or on your iPhone because you need to tailor your clothes. There's just no two ways about it. If you want it to fit your body perfectly, you have to have a tailor that you love and that you trust. And ladies, buy quality over quantity. And sometimes those sale items that you buy in those discounted stores, it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't match with anything in your closet, and you're really just buying it because it's an impulse buy and there's no purpose to your purchase. So when you work with me, when you work with Cabby, we're building a wardrobe and you're purchasing with purpose so that seasonally we're adding a few pieces every season. So by the time we get finished, when you walk into your closet, you have outfits you're putting on and you know what goes with what. And there is an app that Cabby uses. It's called the Cabby Tap app, Cabby Tap, TAP. And when you start shopping with Cabby, it records all of the pieces you've bought with Cabby. And then every day you can open up this app and it tells you what to wear and what goes with your closet. So that is so cool.
That is so cool. I love that. I also love that you're a member of our community. And so especially now, in the times that we're in where people have businesses that are suffering and small business is really important,
Hmm.
we should really be very focused on supporting the members of our community. And I feel as though when we all support each other, everybody wins, everybody grows. And so, with that, ladies, I want to say just thank you so much, Mary, for showing up and
Thank
doing
you
this
so
with
much
us. This
for
was
having
so
me.
much fun for me. Hope it was fun for you guys too. Thank you, Lorraine, for joining us here on the Zoom. Thanks to everybody who joined us over on our Facebook group. And I just want to say that everybody who joined is a winner. I'm going to tag all of you, and every one of you, I'm giving you a styling session with Mary. Just every one of you. I just did it. I made it
Okay.
happen.
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
sprinkled my magic fairy dust on that one. You got a free gift from me today. So,
Sweet.
um, we have our Ladies Power Lunch Summit on Monday. If you haven't as yet gotten your ticket, why haven't you gotten your ticket? Get your ticket, because here's the thing: 2020 has been a year of transformation for every single one of us. But what we're looking at is taking these obstacles that have been presented to us and turning them into opportunity. And we're going to do it together, workshop style, come Monday. So please join us, and I'll see you then. Have a great weekend.
Ciao
Love
for
you
now.
guys. Bye
Bye.
bye.